Can this be accomplished? I know you're all
As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, as a symbol, I can be incorruptible.
He gave us a signal.
Where are you?
Something elemental, something terrifying.
Welcome. It is Saturday morning. Grab your cereal. It's episode 15 of Cavecast. Today we are talking about the Riddler, Edward Nigma, Edward Nashton, Enigma, however you want to call him, or as Joker Voice calls him, Eddie.
Eddie.
There's various opinions on this character. He's either just a tacky gimmick character from the Golden Age. He's a reflection of Bruce's intellect and how not to use it, or he is a shocking indictment on mental illness. And I think he's a little bit of everything. But let's say hello to the chat. We have Erwin Sentient Potato, first one in. Batman is gay Punisher. I mean,
You're not wrong.
Sergeant, good to see you. Dempsey, what grows up while growing down? I believe it is a candle. Oh, that's not the answer.
Age.
Oh, okay. Piranha Pout.
No, it's what goes up and never goes. What goes up but never goes down. Age.
Price of groceries. Yeah, it's good to see you. We got Jake Martin. Good to see you. Toasty. Good to see you. We'll have I'm sure we'll have more people jumping in here in a bit. Oh, of course, we have the Clown Prince of Crime himself.
Yes.
Joker Voice.
And make sure you all in the chat, make sure you're hitting that like button, you're sharing. YouTube wants engagement now. It's all about engagement.
Yeah, it's all engagement. So if you could engage, maybe, leave a comment after the stream. Tie your grandmother to a chair, make her watch it. And then,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Stalk my DMs. I mean,
yeah. Let's see. First, I like the Batman on rewatch. Fuck, I hated it. The Riddler is so off in that film. You know what? It's the third act, and it's the Paul Dano being Paul Dano, like no. You're like, okay, whatever. Rick Costa, good to see you. Like you said, there's a lot to like and a lot to hate about this character. Oh, Ryu, I love you, buddy. One of my mods, one of my trusted mods. Yeah, he is a Golden Age character. He evolved into something a little bit better. These days, he's more of kind of like a. I'm glad that we did Barbara Gordon last week, but he's kind of more akin to like a rogue version of Barbara Gordon. He's like an information broker. He's not just some like crazy guy who will like rob a bank and then lead you to him because he can't help but leave clues. That is something about mental illness that I wanted to get to. Let's see, what is it? Bruce literally never stops him. He hands himself in at this point. Well, no, he kind of leads him to it. Yeah, it's I don't like the third act in that movie.
No.
If they would have just arrested him at the diner, that would have been fine. Actually, it would have been much better. The whole You know, the
It's
whole thing with the flood and everything. It doesn't even feel like Riddler's style. Like Riddler wouldn't flood the whole city.
And plus, I don't think Riddler is a dark web influencer.
No. If anything, he has his own trivia show. Like,
Right.
you know, like he's not.
He has a TikTok.
Yeah, they put too big of a chip on his shoulder in the wrong place. Let's see. Mrs. 3P, happy Batter Day, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Show some love. Good morning, panel. I hope you all have a fun and relaxing weekend. You can tell that my wife doesn't feel good because she didn't say anything mean to me.
Give it time.
I love you, honey. I hope you're feeling better. We have a concert to go to tonight, and I just want her to rest and relax and feel good. Stephen Ransom. Love you, buddy. Okay. No fur, no jacket, Mr. No Fur, no jacket. I don't get it.
No for jacket.
No. Dax is on the news. He's the only furry that I associate with. But I'll finish the replay. I got to beat Darksiders 3 today. Yeah, you've been talking about Darksiders quite a bit, so good luck with you. But let's get on into it. I'm eventually going to start phasing out the Wikipedia, but I think it's important to bring it up with these characters, especially that date all the way back to the Golden Age, because there is a stark difference. Other ones like and Drunken knows this. I used to just like type out like a rubric to basically cover, but some of these characters, I mean, the Riddler goes all the way back to 1948. There's a rich history there, and I'd be remiss if we don't cover all of it. And you know, give credit when credit is due. This is a Bill Finger original, and you know, it's fucking cool. Let's get right into this, shall we? No, I don't like that shit. There we go.
All right.
Top is superior. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says.
Sammy likes being on top.
I'm a power bottom, but you know. But no, I keep telling Roman this. It was like when he has stuff and he has me you know, on the side, anytime he gets like a chat, it covers up my beautiful face. And makes me upset. Okay, the Riddler, Edward Nygma with a Y, or Edward Nashton. I always thought it was actually Nashton before
Nygma. So
yeah, Nygma was definitely, I think, is a later. I think he was originally Edward Nashton.
Yeah, I think so too. And don't get me wrong, it's the perfect. Actually, I thought he changed his name from Nashton to Nygma, I'm sure we'll find out here.
A play on words.
Yeah.
Yeah, where, you know, like just around the time when he started losing his mind, that's when oh, okay. No fur coat, not jacket. I still don't. Guys, help me out. That's my super secret. All fur coat, no trousers.
Good to know.
That's nice. Fun with collecting. Thank you so much for stopping in. Riddle me this. Jim Carrey is the GOAT Riddler. Happy Saturday. Sammy's repeat, panel, chat, and mods. And yes, I couldn't agree more. And fun with collecting, we'll have to get you on here some of these times. There's a couple.
Well, when we get to it, I think one who was slated to potentially play the role, I think.
Well, I have plenty of backstory on that. I'm glad that you brought that up, and I'm glad that you know about this. Yes. So yes, he was created by Bill Finger and one of the best names in comics, Dick Sprang. So you got Finger and Dick working on this character.
It writes itself.
You can't make
Too bad
this
it's
shit
not
up.
Dick Finger.
No, that's in the amalgam verse. Gives you wings. Yeah, so in his comic book appearance, the Riddler is depicted as a criminal mastermind in Gotham City. He has an obsession compulsive to incorporate riddles, puzzles, and death traps in his scheme to prove his intellectual superiority on Batman and the police. His real name is Edward Nygma. It's upon himself, Enigma. And is a person or thing that is difficult to understand. With the self-conscious use of an elaborate gimmick, the Riddler's crimes are often theatrical and ostentatious.
Too much of a showman. He's gaudy.
I love.
See, so over on the side there, you'll see alter ego. It's Edward Nygma. Later, Nygma with Y or Nashton. So Nashton actually came later.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the continuity where it's Nashton, I think he's born Nashton and changes it to Nygma.
Nygma, yeah, I think so.
Okay, but for some reason, I always stuck with Nashton.
Nygma changing it more as an alias because of the whole pun on words.
Right.
Makes more sense.
It does.
But it's also and I know it's comic books, but it's like, what are the fucking odds? Or which actually no, it could have like some psychological effect because his name is Enigma. That like it has an
predestination.
Yeah, like if you got like a sweet name like like
but why
Bow
is
Hunter
why is Edward holding one of my cards?
I don't know. Well, I mean that it looks like it might be an envelope with like a stupid little riddle in it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the Riddler has been adapted into numerous forms of media, having been portrayed in live action by Frank Gorshin, who I thought. I do like John Aston's adaptation.
Yes, I did.
Mr. Adams, Gomez Adams. But no, there's no one like Frank Gorshin. He actually, I would say, is the reason that this character ended up getting the longevity that it did, because they were actually using the Riddler less and less in the comics, and then he just brought him back, and then he was actually the one who changed the character's design, because they originally had him in the jumpsuit, with the big question mark on it, and the domino mask, and then he's like, can we add a little pizzazz? And as you see right here, like the vest, that's all Frank Gorshin's request, and I think there's something to say there. Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
There's no one like Sammy. Spicy wink. All right.
Wow.
Spicy and exciting. Yes. They have him with the bowler mask, the unitard, question marks. It's a visual motif. Also, keeps going with the original bad guys. A lot of the old school bad guys, green and purple. That even Catwoman was green and purple.
Classic.
Yep. For some reason, it works. It looks good.
It's because of me.
Even Green Goblin, green and purple. No, it's a different.
It's because of me.
I'll say it's because of you. It's because of Joker. Yeah. So the series Batman, Jim Carrey.
I thought was great.
Wait, his middle name's Eugene. I didn't know that. James Eugene Carey.
This might be a hot take, but I think the Gotham guy was the best.
Well, especially the way that how well he worked with the guy who played Cobblepot. That was a great dynamic, and that is something that you would definitely see in the comics. And then we got, I know his name's JJJR, but I like to call him Junior. Thank you for stopping in. Rhino the Hamster, also, thanks. Good to see you again. One of my favorite names on the internet. And so here, we'll try and blow this up. This is, I believe, his first appearance. And yeah, very gimmicky. They have him in the unitard and the domino mask. And, they have Batman and Robin basically caught up in like a Chinese paper kit, like wire trap. It's very much a product of its time, and that's fine. Like I always like to say, this is when supervillains like to describe themselves as supervillains, and we can appreciate that. Oh, Professor Savage Dad. I sent when I heard Emerald wasn't calling, I sent him a link as well, but luckily Emerald's here. But I'm definitely gonna have him on the show. I heard him talking Kyle Rayner the other day, and he absolutely understands the assignment. And anybody who understands comics is okay in my book. And we had a hell of a lot of fun ribbing our friend Arza last night. That was that was something else. So Golden Age, the character's origin story recounts Edward Nygma's fascination with puzzles from a young age. After the teacher announces that a contest will be held over who can solve the puzzle the fastest, Nygma sets his sights. So it's Nygma right there. Sets his sights on winning this, craving the glory and satisfaction that will come from the victory. That is a perfect example of, to me, who Edward Nygma is as a character. He doesn't do it for the money. He's smart enough where, it was like, in a modern day Riddler could get rich if he wanted just by like stock trades and crypto. He's got the mind for that, but he needs to let everybody know that he's the smartest guy in the room. And, that's why, he can make a killing in any other city, but he stays in the city with the world's greatest detective who will, break every bone in your body. But if he can get one up on Batman, he's going to do it. And he needs Batman to know that he beat him. That's why he leaves the clues. If he would just rob these places and not leave his little puzzles, he would get away scot-free every single time.
So what you're telling me is that it's Batman's fault again. If he had not been around, then Riddler would have gone and terrorized another city. Joker might have gone to a different area to.
No, I like Gotham.
You like Gotham too much? Okay.
Well, he would never go to Metropolis.
A magnet.
He would never go to Metropolis because, Superman would find him in a second, but he cheats, right? He has super hearing. He can fly. He does this. He wants to be caught.
He'd go to Star City.
He could go where?
Star City.
Star City.
There's Ollie and Dinah there. They're fun. But again, there's no Arkham on Saturday nights. Taco night at Arkham.
He wouldn't be there for taco night. He also Boosh McFadden. Yeah, exactly. Where's the sport in that? He's not going to get caught by the alien. I think he would outsmart Black Canary and Green Arrow. I don't think they'd be able to catch him. Maybe the Flash, because he would still leave the puzzles. It's just the Flash can deduce them so quickly. That might be a bit of a challenge. He'd also kind of he'd be the oddball in the Flash's gallery of rogues. But it wouldn't be the same. No. It's nothing unless he's beating someone mentally or cognitively speaking. So so there's a prime example that yes, he breaks in the school at night to practice the puzzle until he's able to solve it in under a minute, so he can get a big old boner in class the next day.
I respect it.
Yeah, he's a man of conviction. Due to this, he wins the contest and is given a book of riddles as his prize. His cheating rewarded. Edward embraced the mastery of puzzles of all kinds, eventually becoming a carnival employee where he excelled at cheating his customers out of money with his bizarre puzzles and mind games. He soon finds himself lodging greater challenges and thrills and dons the disguise of the Riddler to challenge Batman. So yeah, he sees Batman and he's just like, there's my bitch. Yeah, I like Golden Age Riddler because unlike, Mr. Freeze, like we talked about last week, it gives us a solid foundation. Like Mr. Zero, if not for Paul Dini, that character would have been lost to time.
He would have. He wouldn't. I don't think he would have been a character that would have come back if they hadn't done essentially a very, very good retcon. Now, it is very rare to see a very successful retcon like they did, changing Mr. Zero to what he became.
Yeah. Here, Stephen Ransom. Batman's original rogues gallery makes sense if you look at crime at the time: con artists, anarchists, diamond merchants, corrupt politicians. It is. Oh, Scooby Pup, everybody's favorite pup. I hope you're doing well.
Which makes sense of the times. And then come the birth of the supervillain and Mr. Freeze getting rebooted back in the late 80s.
Well, even look at John Dillinger. Like he would rob a bank and he wanted everybody to know that John Dillinger robbed this bank.
Yep. Calling cards. Essentially calling cards to know. You want to know what? You were bested by me.
Yes. And even that, that story where, he's robbing the bank and the guy tries to give him the money out of his wallet and he's like, I don't want your money. I want the bank's money. Like, like he's the people's champ.
I don't like his notable aliases. I'm noticing over on the side, Puzzle Pirate. Ew.
Yeah, no thanks.
That one,
Prince of Puzzles is pretty lame too. Eddie Nash, it's pretty street cred. All right, I'll give him that. Yeah, he's but the Riddler, like we were talking, has a great foundation from the get, because there's something inherently great about challenging the world's greatest detective with a puzzle, and that's something that's always going to be inherently good, and that's something that you see with other like supervillains where but the Riddler does it every time, where you would see other stories, especially in the Golden Age, where it was like, hey, you know what, I got you right where I want you, but like I'm going to put you in this crazy ass maze and there's you need some way to get out of it. Jigsaw Boo didn't go over well. No, it did not. So he does this, and that's another thing too, is they also showed that the positive reinforcement he was getting by challenging and ultimately, even though he was stacking the deck, but like he just making money from being smarter than people, when other people know you can do the exact same thing in the free market and still make money. A lot of the time that's what it is swindling people, or that some people would chalk that up to being a good salesman. Some people would chalk that up to be, good with numbers, or, things like that. But he realized the quickest way and the most satisfying way is, to do it outside of the law, because, he's in his own mind, he's too smart to be, caged by the parameters of like regular functioning society. So he can't have that. So then you see him evolve a little bit more in the Bronze Age or in the Silver Age, but like I said, especially in his design and everything like that, that's all Frank Gorshin. He really changed the aesthetic of the character, and he brought this compulsiveness aspect that really wasn't there. This was just in the Golden Age. This was like a guy who just does things for all the wrong reasons, and there's an arrogance to it. There's a compulsion here once you get to the Silver and the Bronze Age, where he very much could get away. He could be in a burning building and Batman could be the only one who saves him, and he'd be like, just tell me where you are. And he'd be like, well, if the rooster crows he can't help himself. He has to do it, and he would happily die burning if he could go, I'm smarter than you, I am that guy. It's kind of I'd say it's more of a compulsive disorder. I wouldn't call it obsessive compulsive. There's obsessive compulsive disorder, but there's obsessive compulsive
egomania, but the needing to be smart.
Egomania is really
narcissism.
Another one.
Yeah.
There's a narcissism aspect, but yeah, there's obsessive compulsive personality disorder as well, and that is something that is very much this. So the Riddler is introduced as a villain when he's released from prison. Upon release, he swore he would no longer leave clues to his crimes. However, during his first attempt at a robbery, he discovers that leaving clues has become a compulsion, just like I said. And the Riddler would go on to having more than a dozen appearances in the Silver and Bronze Age. Some notable appearances would be included a team up with the Joker and Penguin, where the villains used experimental gas on Batman to turn the hero into Bat Hulk. The Riddler also faced Elongated Man. See, Elongated Man is a good example because Elongated Man is more of a detective-like character. I'd also could see the Question taking him, going on toe-to-toe. That would be cool.
Keep him off of my tracks too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's always best used just above street level. He should know everything that's going on in Gotham City, because like he is the smarter guy, and he's on the other side of the team, right? He's on the other team. People come to him to like make their crimes better. If he likes you enough, he'll help you out. But when he's doing it on his own, he has this compulsion, and he can't help himself.
So what you're saying, it's almost like the Riddler wants to be caught.
No, it's.
I mean, the leaving clues would indicate that
the leaving. Well, no, the leaving clues is more or less just a calling card. So once you figure it out, you know who did it. But keeping being such a intellectual and wise person, smarter than everyone else, he's always one step ahead. I think it's not so much to get caught. It's, again, talking about Dillinger earlier. It's the whole point. He wants people to know who it is.
Yeah, you're not worthy of. That's why I said he would never go to Metropolis, because Superman would just be able to look through walls, super hearing. It's a bit of hubris, but also you're not worthy of catching him.
Yeah.
Most people, when he leaves his calling card, don't even realize it's a clue.
Right.
They don't know what to look for. So like if you catch him by accident, I feel like he would kill you. Just his mind can't accept the fact that you caught him without like following the steps. If you do plan on going after me, I'm still in control. You have to do it on my terms. So he doesn't care if he's caught. But I think he would. Plan. Of course, he would prefer to not get caught.
He would prefer not getting caught, but it's one of those things that it would be, if he's getting caught, it's because it's part of his design.
Yes.
It's part of his plan. Otherwise it then it would, in his own mind, disprove the fact that he isn't the smartest person around.
Again, he's stacking the deck, right? It was like, so if he doesn't get caught, he's the smartest. If he does get caught, it was on his terms, because you had to follow his clues to catch him. So it's a bit of mental gymnastics, but it works really well. Okay, post crisis, we're starting to. We can just, we're starting to see this behavior in Edward. Post crisis is in The Long Halloween. The Riddler appears as an informant, where I really start liking this. The Riddler is hired by Carmine Falcone, which I think when we do get to the mob aspect, I think we're just gonna have crime bosses in general. We're not. I don't think we can do a whole thing. We would just do Rupert Thorne, Falcone, and who's the other one?
Falcone and
guy who maims Two-Faced.
Oh,
what? It
was Mahoney.
No.
Maroni.
Sal Maroni. Thank you, Salvatore Maroni.
Yeah,
okay. I was like, that's the one I should have forgotten least. My name is Salvatore.
Oh, and Mask.
Oh, Black Mask will get his own, because there's a little bit more to Black Mask where I think we could get a full episode out of him.
Roman.
Yeah.
And his name's Roman.
Yeah. He to help him find the identity of the holiday killer, Falcone eventually loses patience with the Riddler, and his daughter throws him out on the 1st of April. Outside Falcone, he's confronted by the holiday killer, who fires several shots at him without harming him due to it being April Fool's. Guys, if you haven't read The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, just excellent reading. I don't know if that's what you should start with, maybe Batman Year One, but honestly, I mean, they're aping lines right out of The Godfather in The Long Halloween, and it doesn't feel corny. Also, Seabrew's here, my brother. Like you said, Killer Games, love you, buddy. Oh, okay. Riddler appears in the Question series. That would be, like I said, prime time. Being convinced to become a big time villain by a prostitute he meets on a bus.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I'd say it's a solid adaptation. There's things that they left out that I would have liked to have seen. But on the whole, it's a pretty solid adaptation. I also don't like the art style. That's when they moved to we're gonna make everything look like Archer.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little too clean, a little generic. You know what? It is 2 parts. But they also have like an ultimate edit where it's 1. They did the same thing with
Hush.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Hush, and they did the same thing with the Dark Knight Returns adaptation, which is still a good. Oh yeah, even if he was, he would be like, that's how he would undress, right? You would have to solve his riddles, and he'd be like Chris Farley in Billy Madison. That is correct.
Now for $10 more, so
yeah,
to get this.
Yeah, 100%. In a one shot, the Riddle's Factory. I really want to get. I hope we have the War of Jokes and Riddles on here. If not, we can just discuss it. But I thought that was a great storyline. He becomes the host of an underground game that focuses on digging up dirt on celebrities. Many of the famous people that he humiliates ended up creating insincere apology videos shortly afterwards, suggesting that the Riddler did a good thing. In the end, his actions turn out to be as a front for his attempts to find hidden treasures of Scarface Scarpelli, Gotham City gangster, who lived long before Batman's reign of crime fighting. So there's also a bunch of adaptations. They now have him. So I heard rumors that if they were going to use the Riddler in Chris Nolan's series, people were looking at Johnny Depp, and he was going to be more of a hacker type character. Kind of, and if you look at the design of, because the animated series that was going on during the Chris Nolan years was the Batman. The Batman's design is he even kind of sounds actually he kind of sounds like a woman from the 60s who smokes too much. That was like,
Ellen, hi there. I feel good.
No, but I was more like one of these, and it was like, that's kind of an odd the person who obviously, the animated series does a wonderful adaptation of the Joker, where and I one of my favorite episodes, it's just by the name alone, it's, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? And okay, during a crisis caused when Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, friend of the channel, Wonder Woman. Oh yes, she's a fetish. Actually, no, she is a fetish. The guy who invented, or who came up with the idea of Wonder Woman, he he invented the lie detector test. And he had a big thing about, he really thought it was sexually attractive when women were bound with rope, and women with rope. So she has the lasso of truth,
which when she's tied up, she loses her powers.
Yes. So yeah, he had a big old boner every single time he sat down to draw those comics, and he was like, this is going to be fucking awesome. Hush. Yeah, we have to talk about Hush. Hush is, it's revealed that the Riddler suffers from cancer, specifically a brain tumor, which afflicted the mother of Dr. Thomas Elliot. Thomas Elliot, of course, is Hush. Spoiler alert. That'll be a fun one too. The Riddler uses one of Ra's al Ghul's, or Ra's al Ghul's. I will never forget. I'll never forgive Christopher Nolan. It was always Ra's for but I watched Batman Begins so many times, and they keep saying Ra's
al Ghul.
Right.
Ra's.
That's a really good point, Sammy. Yeah. You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, so he has cancer. He uses the Lazarus pit to cure himself. He offers Elliot the chance to cure his mother as well. Oh my God, Cannoli Sasquatch.
Cannoli!
Friend of the channel. Everybody's favorite cryptic.
Nolan is.
Thanks, Killer Games. Riddle me this. Why am I muted? Because I'm an imbecile, and we all know that.
Jake Martin. Yeah,
Jake Martin. Nolan is racist. Yeah. So, where were we? Oh, yeah. So he finds out he has cancer. He realizes that Tom Elliot, his mother, has cancer as well. However, Elliot is in fact eager for his mother to die so he can inherit the fortune, because Thomas Elliot is a piece of shit. And childhood friend of Bruce Wayne. He is I
mean times get tough, Mom.
Obsessed with Bruce Wayne, which I can't wait to get into that, because there's a lot to unpack with Hush. But the Riddler sets Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, the Joker, Clayface, and Scarecrow out to destroy Batman, with Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, and Lady Shiva being temporarily drawn into the scheme as well. So, I mean, he basically has the power of mind and the conviction to get some of Batman's best rogues in a united front. He is probably one of the few people who can do that. The Joker couldn't do that.
Don't want
Bane,
to. That's my
Bane
job.
could probably do that.
My job alone.
Yeah, the Joker's chaos. Okay. Some of the best stories is when and Riddler's good for this too, is when Batman's already on the scent of another major crime and the Joker's just like, I'm gonna fuck up your day. That's that is excellent. They I think they do that in the Long Halloween.
Yeah.
Where I know you're looking for the holiday killer, but it's Christmas. Like and another thing that he has him do, which not a lot of people understand, there's very few villains who have done this. He has, like the Joker in a lot of adaptations, had already deduced that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and he won't take advantage of that because of the love of the game.
It's too much fun.
No,
it's too much fun.
For the Joker, it's too much fun. With him, it's a compulsion. You that would be cheating. You can't cheat. And then the only time he kind of does is he gets Clayface to morph into a presumed dead version, an adult version of Jason Todd.
Dead puppies. Dead puppies. Dead puppies aren't much fun.
Some of my best work.
Just a crowbar.
And some dynamite.
But also that was a really cool time because he had not been confirmed to have come back from the dead. Because I don't know if we've mentioned this on the show, guys. Jason Todd died. And some people would have liked him to stay dead. Personally, I do like the Red Hood, but they utilize him wrong very much. It's the same.
However, Under the Red Hood, fantastic film.
Yeah, you know what, Sebrew? Me and Badger actually had a Joker off, and yeah, he won. I had to tip my hat to him. He does a better Joker than I do.
Oh wow! So could it possibly?
No, because he follows the he's got what you got. I have more rasp. I have early animated series.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, Sally the Weasel Valestra.
Oh, that's quite good. I like that one.
What's an old two-timer like you? Or what is it? Oh, my black Joker is amazing, Sebrew.
I have a little more gravel in my voice.
Yeah, and that's what everybody likes. Everybody likes the Batman from the Arkham series, right? A little bit more grizzled.
Still voiced by the best one ever.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I had the "Don't touch me, old man." I don't know where you've been. But little too clean. Actually, we'll save that for the Joker. But the way that Mark Hamill came up with that is he was on Broadway, and he was playing. There's a successfully popular screen adaptation of this script, but he was playing Amadeus Mozart in Amadeus. And if you've seen that film or if you've seen the play, one of the things that he's known for is having a strange laugh. And he had just got done doing a tour as Amadeus, and he was like, well, I have a bunch of different laughs, but another thing that he tributed to how he came up with his voice is Frank Gorshin, because Frank Gorshin would go up and all the way and talk like this, and then he'd bring it down, and you can hear that in that in Mark Hamill's adaptation.
If you've ever seen Mark in a booth doing the Joker,
he has to stand up.
And he gets all.
And no, it's incredible. But we're off topic here. So that Jason was alive the whole time and had personally played the role in the Riddler and Hush's scheme. That was like the biggest part in Hush. Abomination, AJ.
What's up, AJ?
We got an AJ sighting. Famed comedian and friend of the channel, Abomination AJ, everybody's favorite wolf.
A lichen, yeah.
Or liking, yeah, I liken him a lot. Let's see. Aftermath, fallout from the Riddler's failed scheme played on Batman out in Gotham Knights. Ooh, what a great depiction of Batgirl right there.
Nice, look at that. Babsy Wabsy.
You know, that's a different take off of all the costumes. Like I like the all black opposed to the gray. I still like the gray the best though. Shows more boob shadow. Let's see. So yes, we can talk about the Riddler reformed. Where at one point in time, I believe he actually joined Gotham PD. Well, kind of like an informant type, but
yeah, I think because I think they played on that in the Gotham series where he was like an informant, but he also worked in forensics because it appealed to his puzzle nature.
Yeah, which, by the way, had he not been a narcissistic little shit, that might have been the route that he would have gone in the first place, because plenty of villains like to leave a calling card. And I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but there's one guy who likes to leave entire swaths of people with a rictus grin on their face.
I have no idea what you're talking
about. But yeah, so another thing too, they have to kiss his ass, and he reinvents himself as a private detective, taking on a murder case of a wealthy socialite. He's hired by the socialite's father, and proves that a photo of Bruce Wayne, apparently implicating him of the crime, is an imposter, and he briefly works to investigate the crime. He has suffered memory loss from the coma. He barely remembers his own name. He does not appear to remember that Wayne and Batman are the same. Yeah, that's from something else. The Joker wasn't. Oh my God, do we have someone on Kick? Nope, it's a robot.
Yeah, it's a bot.
Yeah, we are also on Kick now, doing that, and then in other news is also on Rumble, and then as always we're streaming on X. But if the 50 people watching the show would hit that like button, subscribe, maybe share it out, that would be a hell of a lot of fun for me.
And it's free.
We are over the halfway point of getting monetized. And thank you, Jamma. You're right on it. I'm trying to look. Yeah, so we're still in like 2008. I wanna find the War of Jokes and Riddles, the Return to Villainy. Because that's always DC Rebirth. Yeah, so he forms his own team consisting of Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Deathstroke, Clayface, Killer Croc, Two-Face, Firefly, and Victor Zsasz.
Jeez,
come on.
That's a lot of people.
Too
many.
And the Joker, waging war on the Joker's team across Gotham. The Riddler is responsible for poisoning Charles Brown's son, resulting in his transformation into Kite Man, who joins up with the Joker's team, consisting of Clue Master, Deadshot, the Mad Hatter, Man-Bat, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, Solomon Grundy, and the Ventriloquist. I would say that the Riddler has a much better team, but everybody
I wasn't in charge of hiring. It was human resources. I had no control over that.
Well, all the good guys were taken.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you know who else isn't on that team, asshole? Harley.
I know, that little turd bitch. But then I got another one to finish the joke, the punchline.
And yes, there's the Watchmen crossover, Doomsday Clock. The comedian shoots the Riddler in the leg, which I really liked. But that's we basically covered him in all of the ages, all the adaptations. He basically stays pretty true to himself. He has a couple of reinventions, but for the most part, he's pretty true to his golden age roots. And that's something that's skills and abilities. Get out of here. In other versions, we can do that real quick because there are some pretty interesting ones. So Joker, a radically different interpretation of the Riddler, is featured in Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo Joker, which I do own this, and the art is absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you guys ever read Batman Noel, but it's very, very similar to that. And in this version, he wears a solid green jacket with a question mark on the very back of it, and is a circle. He has a circle like question mark tattoos on his abdomen. His cane is serves the purpose of helping to prop him up due to his disabled leg. He sells an unknown substance to the Joker, who identifies him as Edward. Thriller Killer, I want to see if they have him in Red Rain. Oh, Crimson Mist. That's right. That's the one where he becomes a vampire. This is a shockingly different one. This is the one where you see the Riddler. He has his head shaved and then like a riddle or like a question mark like carved into his forehead. And he's actually a serial killer here. In the third issue of Batman's vampire series, The Crimson Mist, the Riddler appears in the morgue where he shoots the mortician who was about to start the autopsy on the corpse as the Riddler. He had stored a large amount of drugs in the body. The Riddler has an appearance of a question mark shaped scar on his face. Like I just said, he's more of a serial killer here. And it's a very violent adaptation of the character. Batman White Knight, he's nothing really in there. Dark Knights of Steel, I don't even remember this. But we can do in other media because we have tons to talk about here. There's so many great adaptations of the character. The Riddler in other media.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't remember this, and they're like, it's a cosplayer. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Oh, hold on, I gotta blow my nose.
Exciting. Nose blowing.
Yes.
I mean the bowler hat. I think the bowler hat with the black. I the black bowler hat. I'm not a.
I prefer it the other way.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I don't like the incorporation of black. Right? It's green and purple. It's a simple assignment. If you're gonna have black, maybe he's got a vest under the suit. We now return to Style Talk with Sammy 3P. The Riddler, a supervillain in DC Comics and an adversary for the superhero Batman, has been adapted numerous times in numerous forms of media, including the films, television series, and video games. Well, I almost brought myself off topic. What do you guys want to get into first? You want to do live action? We should do live action because live action is very important because, as we talked about earlier, it reinvigorated the entire character. Interest in Joker or interest in the Riddler and a lot of Golden Age villains who managed to survive into the Silver Age because of the comic book code of authority, they were greatly nerfed. But this character never really was nerfed. He was always kind of silly. So he actually made it into the Silver Age quite well. And like we talked, there was actually, he probably got most of his development in the Silver Age, which is very, very strange in comics. It's usually you get these characters reinvigorated in the Bronze Age.
Right.
You know, but either way, people were getting tired with the bullshit schemes and stuff like that, because all of a sudden, all of these characters, like the Joker, went from being a psychotic killer to a villain very much like the Riddler, where he's doing this scheme. That's where you get, you know, he's robbing a bank and then, you know, leaving smiley, you know, it's not like, oh, he's going to kill you and he's going to have you laughing while you do it. That's inherently scary.
Now, that was because of the comic book code, right?
Yes.
And that's so at the end of every issue, I was sent back to prison or Arkham, whatever.
Yeah, we're actually going to have an episode, a special. I've been talking with Iron on this, where we it's impossible to truly discuss the brilliance of the Silver Age without talking about the comic book code of authority, because you had to work around a bunch of shit, and it was mostly it was the end of horror comics altogether, where you couldn't have that, but you know, you had these things. That's why Morbius in Spider-Man is the living vampire, and you know, he's not actually a vampire. He's, you know, they had a bunch of different stuff, and it's usually the most significant issues, like the night Gwen Stacy died. That's when people were just like, fuck the comic book code of authority. Like, you know, because that's when you start to see some significant changes. And then eventually everyone was just like that. Frank Miller had a huge hand in just going like,
shocking.
Yeah, right. Mr. Swastika Nipples himself. But let's see. He was Frank Gorshin, like I said, brought so much to the character and really understood the character, that it's compulsion and that he's crazy. So he's the first and third season. The second season is John Astin. I thought he was just fine. He's also a terrific actor. Every actor on Batman 66 were already really famous actors. Like, right. My favorite is Burgess Meredith's Penguin.
Yes.
Burgess Meredith is an astoundingly good actor. Even
as Egghead.
Oh yes, Vincent Price, Egghead, and they were going to have, but once they did his makeup, they deemed it too scary for the time for regular television. They were going to have Clint Eastwood play Two-Face.
Ooh, nice.
And that would have been perfect casting. I don't know how he would have played it. I'm sure it would have been campy as shit, but I was like, right. Imagine a Dirty Harry-esque portrayal. You know, let's just see what the coin says. Like that would have been amazing.
Do you feel lucky?
Yeah, 100%. That's why Tommy Lee Jones is such a missed beat, because he could have gave a very similar performance. Instead, he decided to be wacky. And
that's also Schumacher too. So
I think it was more because he saw Jim Carrey's performance and he just didn't know how to be the straight man to that. So much so that he told Jim Carrey straight up that he fucking hated him.
Right. For his
buffoonery.
Yes, that's the word.
I don't condone your buffoonery is one of the best. Very Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go.
I mean, that would be more Eastwood playing the Riddler, but we're on it. We all understand the assignment. Like I said, this is where we really do kind of see the compulsive behavior. I got to know.
I did not know that Frank got a Emmy nod for Riddler.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple people did. Which I'll have to look into off screen. Let's see. I absolutely love Tommy Lee Jones as face for the longest time until somebody pointed out he's basically the same as the Riddler in the movie. I still love Tommy Lee Jones. Yes, but let me pose this to you. Imagine this fun with collecting. What if he played Two-Face, where you have Jim Carrey's Riddler running around, and then you have Two-Face like he plays Agent K in Men in Black. And he's very straight, and in the very kind of beginning he is, and you know, he's like, it's like a touch of God, you know. Then all of a sudden, you know, he's really getting into that security guard, and you know, and then all of a sudden he goes insane with it, where he's like, oh, you know, let's see what destiny has in store for you. Oh, another day of wine and roses, but in your case, beer and pizza. If you cut that part out and just have the, you know, that he's talking about fates, yes, identity, this, the, you know, where he's kind of like muttering to himself. That's an incredibly powerful character. Or
at the end, thank you, Bruce. You were always the voice of reason and the great.
Yep.
Friend. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. No. You know. Just. Because he would have such a straight performance. Who's the other guy who played him in The Dark Knight? Who plays Two-Face? Aaron Eckhart. Eckhart. He's kind of doing it. The best way that he's doing it is in the limousine scene, where, you know, otherwise he yells a little bit too much. I don't like, Two-Face does yell, but Two-Face should be
almost stoic.
Yeah, stoicism, and here's a man that has been so damaged, he doesn't know what the right answer is anymore. So he flips a coin, and he's indifferent to the result because he doesn't have any skin in the game anymore. You know, like, you know, pun aside,
you know, he was looking at the performance of Willem Dafoe with Green Goblin, and the two personality split where Green Goblin is yelling when,
yeah, I mean, that's
more angry.
That's more when he's on his own, right? That should be like his inner monologue.
Yeah.
Externally, he should be stoic. And you know, that is something, like I said, Tommy Lee Jones could have done that in a heartbeat. He would have been perfect. I also would have liked. Yeah. I also would have liked to have seen Billy D. Williams' adaptation of the character.
That would have been interesting.
Which was always the plan. So they were actually until they got Christopher Walken in Batman Returns. You know. So Catwoman, when she kisses Max Schreck with that live wire, that was gonna be Billy D. Williams. That's how he would have gotten Two-Face, which is a very Tim Burton way,
right,
you know, to burn someone's face off. The courtroom scene was just not Burton enough.
No, but that would not have sold Happy Meals.
God, we'll get into that. But so yes, we have The Legends of the Superheroes, which is a live action television special, because everything had a fucking television special in the 70s.
It looked like the Roger Corman TV show.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's on par with like the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh yeah.
You know, things like that. And then we have a young Edward Nygma, which we have talked about my feelings about Gotham, but he was a standout. But like I said, I don't think he should be 15 to 20 years older than Bruce Wayne, because it will make no sense when they fight each other. But it's the same thing with Oswald. I can understand you wanting to show his like rise to prominence. How they handled it in the Penguin is the way to do it. He needs to be adjacent to Batman.
That was such a good series.
Oh my God. But yeah, live action, animation.
Now I had said this when we were in the back right before we came on screen. Yes, the Batman Forever, it's Schumacher, it's camp, it's a bunch of. I think that Jim, if you'd playing the camp, was the perfect choice. Had you gone with a darker tone, Jim would have also been the perfect choice.
Yeah, because even what he's doing without like the zaniness, I truly feel like. Have you guys ever seen Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone?
Love it.
Okay, there's this scene where Dennis Leary, who's like the leader of the underground thing, and he's like, I want to do that, I want to do that. And I was like, I truly feel like the director was like, just do your thing, man. Like, and we hadn't gotten Carey in serious roles yet. Where like he was Ace Ventura, he was The Mask. He hadn't done
the Truman Show yet.
Yeah, he hadn't done the Truman Show. He hadn't done The Majestic. He hadn't done 23. He might have done Man on the Moon, which I just think that was just like retarded. Like they made a documentary on it. It was like, oh, so Jim Carrey was a huge asshole the whole time they were filming this movie. That's not method acting, that's just mental illness. But he was obviously going through some stuff. It is one of my favorite films, and if you have not seen Demolition Man, you should watch it. One thing I would argue after watching that movie is I would have liked to see Wesley Snipes play the Joker, because he basically plays an excellent Joker in that movie.
Yeah.
But yes, we have this, and we have. But what I was talking about is Jim Carrey's portrayal is he is so he still gets that Frank Gorshin obsession. He said Frank Gorshin was a huge influence on him, which anybody is. Even the guy in the animated series who voiced the Riddler, he said, like, I watched a lot of how Frank Gorshin talked, and like I did my own thing with it, but he sounds like Frank Gorshin. But we have the crazy unitard wearing Jim Carrey, but another thing is he's obsessed with Bruce, and you see him almost like Hand That Rocks the Cradle single white femaling Bruce Wayne in this, where he's mimicking everything he does because he's so obsessed with him. And obsession is a huge aspect in the character, but also it gave us that was the first time anyone heard Seal's Kiss from a Rose. I think we all remember where we were when we heard Seal's Kiss from a Rose.
For if knowledge is power,
and if you don't think I've been bugging the shit out of Mrs. Three-Peat with that clip for years, you would be mistaken. Also, I loved this in the film as they depicted Arkham Asylum, and they used the same depiction of Arkham Asylum in the next film. so it brought a little bit of continuity.
Yes, yes, that's not quite accurate to how it is. It's fine, but
I mean, it depends on your adaptation of it, because Arkham Asylum started out as like a palatial estate.
I frequent there. I might know a little. Just say, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I took the guided tour.
I am the guided tour.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it is not how it is sometimes it's not how it is in the video.
Scroll up just a little bit. Right on the left there. Yeah. That's it right there.
Yep. And we will always talk about that. Dude, I don't know who got in charge of the art in the new Batman Adventures, but everything other than like 2 characters is like a downgrade. Everybody, I really do think it was just to save money, because this is a much less intricate design, but like, come on now.
I mean, the Bruce Timm universe is just the best.
It is, but I'm saying the new Batman Adventures redesign is terrible.
Speaking of terrible design, I'm not wearing a Marvel shirt.
Everybody stare at EB.
This one is.
No, I just didn't change from last night. I fell asleep in the chair. I was supposed to be on
nice.
Drunken Elmo's show, but
Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Okay. Can we talk about the Batman and the Riddler in there?
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna say, because the opening trailer, I mean, by the end of the trailer, you knew this was going to be the Riddler. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, so this is more detective. This is more like Seven. It gave all that vibe, and I'm like, oh, I am in. And then the Cobain song playing in the background, I'm like, I'm in. I was sold on that film from the moment the first trailer hit, and then the third act happened.
Oh shit! A wild Iron Oxide appeared.
Hello, Iron Oxide.
Hey, sorry, I overslept, man.
Oh, it's all good. So did I last night when we were supposed to be playing games. But just right out of the gate, who's your favorite Riddler?
Okay, we're talking outside of the comic books on film, TV.
Yeah, favorite adaptation, film, could be animated, doesn't matter.
Gotcha. You know, I'm gonna have to. I know this is always my go-to, but I'm gonna go with Batman the Animated Series. I don't think that we've had a good live-action representation of this character yet. Jim Carrey was just Jim Carrey, not bad, but he was just Jim Carrey, and I really didn't like the Zodiac version of the Riddler we got in the Batman.
I'm glad you said that, because my main theme on all of this is it's Frank Gorshin. Frank Gorshin in Batman 66 has been the person that reinvigorated the character when he was dying in the comics. He was the first one to take him out of the unitard and kind of give him the suit look. And anyone who has played a Batman villain, or as I didn't read up on Paul Dano, has said that they had used Frank Gorshin's example of that villain in some aspects. So Frank Gorshin is the GOAT on that. And
I would agree.
But yes, but you don't get him in this suit without him, because he requested, can I not dress like this the entire time? It's cold on set and my balls shrivel, and I want everyone to think I have balls. No, actually, here is a funny story. I learned this the other day. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but Burt Ward, who was Robin in the 1966 series, and Adam West, they were a bit of sex pests, because, like, you know, they're seen on television every single week, like in unitards, showing off their
junk
physiques and their junk. And so they basically, they got around, and one time Frank Gorshin and Adam West got kicked out of an orgy because they refused to break character. So they went into an orgy pretending to be Batman and the Riddler.
I have no problem
That's
with
fucking
that.
great.
Why would you get kicked out for that?
Oh.
Dude, I fucked Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good.
I mean, not that we have any of those type of places here in Las Vegas where that type of activity goes around. Not
No,
saying
of
that
course
happens
not.
at all. But I'm just saying, if I went in as the Joker, I would be a hit there. Not that I have any experience with that.
Not
at
that
all.
you would know anything about that, right?
Nothing.
Yeah.
At all.
I can't imagine. I only want brunettes and redheads touching my penis.
Holy gaping hole, Batman! You've been used.
Yeah. And then across the room you hear, "Riddle me this."
Oh,
I
did you
think
say that
if you keep stroking me, I'm going to come.
My penis is perfect.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, even though flawed, and like I said, it was Joel Schumacher going, just do your thing, man. There are some things that he brought to the character. And of course, like, you can't rule out that Jim Carrey is an incredible person on the fly. Like they said, most of his stuff,
they wanted Jim Carrey, they got Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
right.
Jim Carrey's Riddler was Jim Carrey first, Riddler was secondary.
Well, I
think the best thing go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Iron, I talked to these two guys. Do you think Jim could have played because I said for the Schumacher version, Jim was a perfect casting, but even if you went to a darker Tim Burton style under that type of setting, Jim could have also been perfect casting.
I think so. I really think so. Like, here's the thing, though. Jim Carrey 1995 was a different person than even Jim Carrey 2005.
Yes,
he had evolved some of his more experimental dramatic roles movies weren't hits, but he was good. Like, if we got a more of a Cable Guy, or what was that one movie, the number 23?
Cable Guy era is great. The Majestic, Truman Show,
yes,
Eternal Sunshine in the Spotless Mind.
Now that's a great movie.
But now we're getting into and me and Drunken were talking about this.
Killer Games.
Where it's gonna appear every time Adam West. Boom, zap, pow. Yeah. Turbines to power. But so there was another person that was up for this character, and like I said, it was when in the same bail when Johnny Depp was going to be up for the role. Oh my God, cool! Another robot on Kick. Thank you. By the way, guys, I'm on Kick. But there was another more cerebral character, which they were going for the camp. And if you're going for the camp, Jim Carrey is perfect for the camp.
Yeah.
But I will say that he did try to put the effort in and add that obsessiveness in there. But you also got like, surfs up, big kahuna. Ooh.
Is that a Lucian?
Settle for the bronze.
I can never tell.
Yeah.
God.
But you get the too many questions, Mr. Wayne. Too many questions.
Captain Kill.
Yeah. But there was another person who also is known to be good at improv and is quite zany. And Emerald, who was that? That was going to be up.
Well, it was originally, the plan was, as we said earlier, the Harvey Dent was going to be played by who?
Billy D. Williams.
Opposite Robin Williams.
Yep.
Yep. And Robin Williams really wanted this
already
character
been
because
screwed over.
they used him to actually get Jack Nicholson into the role of Joker because they were like, well, and keep in mind, Robin Williams at the time wasn't like a huge, like, isn't the name that, he doesn't have the gravity that he did. He was the silly guy from Happy Days and Mork and Mindy. I think he had just done The World According to Garp, which is a great movie.
Yes.
But he had already done Dead Poet Society, I believe.
Yeah, he
By
was
time. So
in
the
89?
dramatic role.
I thought Dead Poet Society was a 90s role.
Right, but the Batman, but it would have still been Batman 4, but it would have been Robin
No.
Williams.
Okay, no, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. So
okay.
I'll
get it when you were going for the
Dead
casting.
Poet Society was 89. That was kind of the role he got. He was kind of given that because of all the shit he got for the Joker Jack Nicholson
side
fiasco.
note, Boosh, this movie makes me cry like a little bitch every time I see it. Awakenings is one of my favorite movies.
Damn.
I've yet.
I think that's Robert De Niro's best acting too.
It's when Robert De Niro could still act. It was in the same era where Pacino could still act instead of just yelling all the time. Like there was a point in time, like if you ever watch like Injustice for All, or like the Godfather films, like there was a point in time where Al Pacino could act. But either way, people were just getting the idea that Robin Williams could act, and so in the original script, I still think Sam Hamm, who is also a comic book writer, but he also wrote scripts, and he wrote a script. The original script was supposed to be everybody always envisioned Jack Nicholson as the Joker. But they wanted to keep it campy, and they wanted they even at the time, I know Adam West put up a stink saying like nobody even talked to me about playing the role of Batman, and we're like, that's because it's 30 years later, dude. Like we get it, and astounding physical shape that Adam West even managed to keep himself in. He probably could have played the role if they did like a Dark Knight Returns type of deal.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah, although like there's no way you'd be able to take it seriously. Like, Terry, you have to fly around and stop these guys from robbing the bank. Please punch them so hard that giant letters form in the air. That's actually how he got his casting on Family Guy. Is Seth MacFarlane just called him on the phone, and he's like, Adam, what are you doing right now? And he's like, I'm pouring dog food into a bowl. And he's like, he got the job. Like everything you say sounds fucking funny. But either way, I'm getting sidetracked. So Sam Hamm wrote up the script, and they very much had like the campiness in mind, but it wasn't until Tim Burton got on. So originally the casting was Jack Nicholson as the Joker, Bill Murray as Batman, and Eddie Murphy as Robin. That was the original thing. It then evolved, and then once Tim Burton got involved, he was like, if we can't get Jack, I want William Dafoe. And then they said William Dafoe is not a big enough actor. It's the same thing why in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, we got Keanu Reeves, Jonathan Harker instead of Johnny Depp. They just said he's not a good, he's not big enough. Yeah. Which, by the way, if you cast Johnny Depp in that role,
I
maybe
think
the
movie
best
would have been
adaptation
better.
of Dracula.
I think it would have improved it.
Yeah.
I'm a defender of Keanu Reeves.
To get back to
yeah.
England. Like, okay, would have been fine. Grizzled John Wick, Keanu Reeves is superior to to Ted.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. He didn't learn to act until he was in his fucking 40s. Okay, which is fine because he's a beautiful man, and you don't have to be able to be in movies and be an actor if you're a beautiful man. But it helps either way. So they wanted William Dafoe. This is what Burton wanted. He said no, and he's like, okay, well, if we can't have Jack Nicholson and you won't let me have Dafoe, what about Robin Williams? And Robin Williams is a geek.
Yep.
He was totally on board. And then as soon as Nicholson saw that Robin Williams was going to take the role, he agreed to do the role.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams felt slighted. And he said, the only reason that you guys even asked me is because that was supposed to coax Nicholson into doing the role. And like, fuck you guys, rightfully so, but that's just kind of how the game is played. But they're like, no, Burton was like, no, I will bring you back. And like, what about the Riddler? And just like everybody else, Robin Williams loved Frank Gorshin's portrayal of the character, and he was actually going to do, like I said, more of a hacker type character. Like when they wanted Johnny Depp in the Nolan verse, they were going to have him like more of a hacker type character, more of a cerebral role, none of the zaniness. And I think we might have missed out on a portrayal. It was like I always like to talk about like Rick and Morty's like what is it, where they're watching television but it's in a bunch of different dimensions. Like there's a version where like we're getting Billy D. Williams and Robin Williams, like playing these roles. And Keaton still would have been Batman, even though I didn't hate Val Kilmer's.
And the movie would have been good.
Oh, I didn't hate Val Kilmer at all.
Oh, I couldn't stand him. But however,
I think he could have excelled given a better script.
Yes,
but
yeah,
and even
that film had the best love interest, Dr. Chase Meridian.
Yeah, but nipples on the bat suit.
Yeah, but that's Schumacher, right?
Yeah.
Which actually, when he was interviewed about that, I kind of understand it. Where superheroes are like the modern like Greek gods. Like like if you were like you would follow Superman like you would the Adventures of Hercules and things like that. So we have those. This is the American mythology,
which which is interesting because in the series The Flash, when you went to the anything that was in the police department, they had a depiction of the Greek gods, and it was like Superman was Zeus, Wonder Woman is Hera,
but
Bat is Hades.
He added the nipples because he thought it made him look statuesque. I'm calling bullshit because he didn't put nipples on Alicia Silverstein. You're very gay. Also, it's really hard to do crime as a gang in Gotham when everybody's wearing like fucking neon lights, and but also that's very much of its time. But I will say the soundtrack kicks ass, and that's the first time that we ever heard Seals.
I gotta ask, because with Mrs. 3P, did you ever sneak that into her playlist?
Oh, dude, I said you can ask Mrs. 3P. That's been a mainstay in my household for years. I am gonna shorten it up because it's just gonna be like when we mention Jason Todd.
Dead puppies, dead puppies.
Yeah, so it's like that. I think I just want to get the little last clip where it's actually Seal, and you got the what? So back to the topic. It evolved. So Robin Williams thought he was getting the short stick. You're getting Warner Brothers is actively outing Tim Burton. Michael Keaton is going, well, if Tim Burton is not going to do the movie, then I'm not going to be a part of it.
Right.
So he jumps off.
Smart move.
Tim Burton very much, and Michael Keaton very much wanted to do a movie very similar to Batman Begins, where it showed like how Bruce, was his ability to learn all this stuff, which I actually kind of like Keaton's Batman, where he isn't an expert on everything. He's just like a brawler, right? Like he can up the ante because he's got gadgets, but for the most part, the guy can just take a punch. He doesn't really have a lot of formal training. He's just a rich guy who dons a bat suit, and because he has all this stuff at his disposal, he succeeds. There's more of an adventurer aspect. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate every adaptation of Batman where he is an expert on everything. He should be. They make it very, very clear that Bruce Wayne is the pinnacle of human potential. And he has time to do so because he's a billionaire. He doesn't got a 9 to 5. So what else but expanding your mind and working?
He needs
out.
a hobby.
Well, this is his hobby.
I know. He needs another one.
Well, I mean, we can argue on that. Let's get into what I think is a terrible adaptation of the Riddler, and this is also a live action. So we've had a couple of good ones, right? Even Gotham understood the assignment. This motherfucker right here,
fuck that guy.
And I was so looking forward to this because again, I loved the feel of Seven, which is the vibe I thought they were going for, not Zodiac and not this dark web influencer person.
I mean, making him a little more violent. If you're gonna do that, then make him more like the Jigsaw killer from the Saw movies, not like Zodiac.
Absolutely, not a Reddit mod shitlord.
Yeah,
or like John Doe from Seven.
Yes. No, that's a great example. Take John Doe from Seven, mix it with Jigsaw, and you got a winner. This is just a pissed off, commentary on, incels and everything else. Same old boring shit. Slap on some Zodiac nostalgia, and Paul Dino is a great actor. But and he probably could have carried out the role with a completely
he could have given you
script.
anything that you wanted with this character. He even looks like the character. The character has always kind of been like this, kind of like this pie face, like Irish looking motherfucker. Like he would have been fine. As a matter of fact, if we were going to talk about like fan casting, if you look at like some of the adaptations of the Riddler, he looks like Robin Williams. Like the same curvature of the chin, very Irish looking, right? Like so much so, like in Good Will Hunting, they have like bagpipes and penny flute following this motherfucker. Your move, sport. And you picked my fucking life apart because you saw a painting in my office. And there's something about Robin Williams. He just looks like the character, and we know just from Mrs. Doubtfire and my Apple Watch is running out of battery and it won't stop letting me know that. The genie in Aladdin, he's great on his feet. He's a stand-up comedian. He has the ability to do both. Paul Dano has the ability to do both. It's more on the more serious side. The best part in that entire movie is when Batman and Gordon are talking and he's like, thumb drive. This guy's hilarious. Right. Like it's that actually felt like a detective story. That actually felt like this, aping the Zodiac. When this character, for lack of a better word, he's got a bit of pizzazz. You know, like the Riddler isn't showing up looking like the Zodiac killer. He's dressed to the nines, and you know, he obviously has a custom tailor, and that custom tailor knows how to stitch in a fucking question mark. Like, I didn't like that. And as a matter of fact, it would have been in juxtaposition with Robert Pattinson's Battison, where he is very, very early on in his career. I would have loved to see a character like that throw Batman for a loop and be like, who the fuck is this guy? He's coming up in like a 3-piece suit, like doing all this shit. He could have still been violent. He could have still killed people. And not to mention, like, I still have a huge problem. Bruce Wayne, expert on everything, and you can go, oh, this is early on in his career. The guy's got a photographic memory. He's traveled the world to learn different types of martial arts.
Master of 132 martial art forms.
I think he speaks 30-some different languages. He doesn't recognize a tool for installing carpet.
Yeah.
Who goes undercover because he knows he's a billionaire, and doesn't understand regular people, lived like a peasant for years so he could understand the common working man. In all those jobs, all those odd jobs he did, he never installed a carpet, or at least, you know, it's the movie's fine on its head. The third act is ridiculous, and I'm also really sick of these superhero films. Man of Steel did it. The new Superman adaptation did it. This film does it, where it was like, well, he's not really Batman to the third act. When this guy said that he's vengeance, he realized that Batman needs to be justice and not vengeance. And then he helps everybody out of the amphitheater because it wasn't flooding, and, you know, people stand behind him. I would like to see a realized version of the character. Joker, you got the floor.
I seem to remember a line from the greatest Batman adaptation, Batman the Animated Series, where Batman says, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Batman is vengeance.
He is, but he also turns his back on vengeance. And we've talked about this in other aspects, where
I've had my ass kicked by him a few times. I beg to differ.
No, if Batman could have just beat up Joe Chill and gotten away with, there's a reason that he keeps, like, you know, the man keeps souvenirs, he would have stopped being Batman. Like, you know, he realizes that there's something greater going on. He turns his back on vengeance. He is vengeance, where he enacts outside the law, and he does things that the law can't, where they're like, oh, we have a lack of evidence, we can't get this guy, but this guy did it. Well, that's when Batman comes in. You know, it was like, but he always turns them into the police because he doesn't kill, and he always finds that evidence and, you know, basically signs it up. You know, it was like, I loved that in The Dark Knight, where they're like, Batman has no jurisdiction. It doesn't matter.
I know a squealer.
Yep. Oh, that was one of my other favorite lines in that movie. It was like, could be in one place or several. But, you know, he's vengeance, but it's for a purpose, and it's controlled. You don't have him running around, unless it's like Frank Miller, and like I said, you got the Nazi nips, and like he's doing like All-Star Batman. We might have to do just an episode on All-Star Batman, because it is the worst depiction of Batman that I've ever fucking seen. Except for the thing where he's fighting Green Lantern and he paints everything in the room yellow and offers him lemonade.
Sounds like something El Gaucho might do.
Oh my God, El Gaucho! Oh, we've gone a whole episode. See, this is how good this character is. We've gone a whole episode without mentioning Mr. Dick Veins.
For what's right.
for love. My balls are a cry for justice. My dick veins are a cry of passion. I am El Gaucho.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it, Rick. But either way, we got him now. And wait. What do we have? What comes once a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? Me. Because I'm a premature ejaculator.
I don't remember.
I'm a premature ejaculator, so I came once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years. I won't live that long. So premature ejaculator, three-peat.
El Gaucho pants tingle for justice.
They do. And it's not justice, it's justice. All right, back to this shitbird. There's other parts about this character that I really don't like. Like I said,
his breakdown in
no. Ah!
Ave Maria.
Okay, I will say I thought that was one of the most brilliant aspects of the film. So in the beginning of the movie, you have the two characters separate. They don't meet. You have Batman. His theme is obviously Something in the Way from Nirvana. You have the Riddler.
Great theme.
And his theme is Ave Maria. As they get closer together, the soundtrack begins to meld where it becomes its own original soundtrack. When they finally meet, it is it's a mesh of Ave Maria and Something in the Way. I thought that was a really, really brilliant way to having these characters clash musically. Awesome. There's some really, really awesome things. There's a lot to love about the Batman. There's a lot of things not to like. And Paul Dano's Riddler is one of the things. And it's not that he's a bad actor. It's not this. It's the same thing when we got what's his nuts playing Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman, where he plays a better Riddler than he does a Lex Luthor. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, who also, I mean, he's not my favorite actor. He's got chops. He could have done that. That's just how the character is written. But it's a lot of the online incel bullshit, and this design, I just can't get behind it. I'm more than happy that he sent Batman a cipher, and that's how he gets it. And it was like, that's definitely inspired by the Zodiac. That doesn't mean that you have to have the character look like the fucking Zodiac.
Right.
It's dumb. I don't prefer it. I want, like I said, a little bit more. I want a little bit more of this. One of my favorite things in this movie is when he hijacks the bat signal and he makes it the dot and the question mark.
I do like that. I like that a lot.
That was cool. I'll give it that.
Yeah, that whole thing where he's the Abomination scene where they dress up as trick-or-treaters and that's how they get into Wayne Manor. That is, and then he's got the little bouncy like cush balls that he like throws and destroys all the Bat Cave. I hate that.
Or when the Batmobile rises up. Now that's impressive.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Because Edward Nygma is obsessed with Bruce Wayne. He's not obsessed with outsmarting Bruce Wayne. He's obsessed with becoming Bruce Wayne. And that is much more Hush. That's pretty perfect, actually. So we can get out of that. Now let's get into animation. Live action, we've had one great portrayal for the time. we've
Super
had some
Friends.
wonderful portrayals in animation, which animation is always going to kind of be superior. It's a better step from page to movement, you know what I mean? Live action, there's so much to interpretation, but the Batman superhero hour, he's very much a character you can imagine like showing up on Scooby-Doo. The Super Friends, I do love the Super Friends for different reasons. But in the Batman, he's voiced by Robert Englund, which I thought was very interesting because I talked about how I don't like his voice. He sounds nothing like Freddy Krueger in this. He sounds like an old woman who smokes. And Jacob Ironside, friend of the channel. So that's how he appears in the Super Friends. That's fine. Sitting at the table for the Legion of Doom. This is basically how the Riddler has commonly looked. In the Batman, when there were rumors that Johnny Depp was going to play the character, I didn't mind this because he is kind of a hacker character. This is obviously goated, and we've talked about this. I don't know who is in charge of the art for the new Batman Adventures, and I realize it was to save money, but every redesign that the Batman Adventures ever did is painful. I didn't hate the suit hood look in the Telltale games. I really, and I was saving the best for last. I enjoy the shit out of the Riddler in the Arkham games. It's just enough, and it kind of makes so much sense that Batman's trying to get other things done, but like if you got time, I've set traps, obvious traps for you, or I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. I realize you're doing this other thing. That's when the Riddler is best used, is when he's trying to do something else and the Riddler just decides to get in the way. It's the same thing with the Joker. It's better when they're chaotic and they're like, well, I know you're trying to like find this person and they're kidnapped, but like I had also kidnapped someone. And if you have time, maybe you should stop by. Anyone? Bueller?
Yeah, and it was utilized really well in the games as side missions. Now, I know you already talked about the aesthetic that he had in Gotham, and even that actor was pretty good.
Yeah. No, he's very good.
Going back to live actions, it's other than 66. Obviously, they haven't been able to just. This is a character that they shouldn't have a hard time adapting into real life, and they either overdo one or the other. They either overdo Jim Carrey version with the campiness, or they overdo the grittiness with the Batman. They mess the character's marks completely with both.
So I think the best adaptation of any Batman villain ever is what Heath Ledger does when he reveals himself to the mob bosses in The Dark Knight, where he's like, oh, I thought all my jokes were bad. And then, he's like, let's start out with a magic trick. And everyone's looking at this guy like, this is fucking ridiculous. And then he shoves the pencil through that guy's eye and kills him instantly. Yeah. And it's gone. He has there's this menace. And every single adaptation of a Batman villain should always remind you that as zany as these characters get, they're dangerous and they're criminals. And that's the reason that they're there. I feel like when you get certain adaptations, that gets lost in the shuffle, and that's basically because of a lot of Silver Age adaptations where you don't necessarily get the menace that these character should have. You should not feel comfortable standing next to Edward Nygma. Okay. Edward Nygma is going to like place you in like a giant trap and you're going to be killed horribly like Jigsaw. Unless the guy who he's antagonizing is smart enough to figure it out. You know, like that's a scary aspect of this character. You should understand that he's not above killing. He will kill people. He has killed people, and he's basically hanging on a thread from going like full on like school shooter. He has the capacity to kill a lot of people. He doesn't, because it's more important to be smarter than Batman than anything else. Tom Kenny is a good fit for the Lego Batman, but yes, there is a bit of silliness to them. They should always still be dangerous.
Rob Paulson's such an amazing the voice actor. I've met him a couple times. Hello,
Mr.
Zach.
Boulder Shoulders himself. Beautiful man. My one of my favorite brothers up north, Zach's. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I think we got it. Why don't we just finish this off? I mean, there's so unlike Mr. Freeze and unlike other ones, this is a character that has so many vastly different adaptations. Why don't we end off saying how you would like this character depicted moving forward? So, you know, we have this asshole who just went to a Comic-Con and somehow ended up on the Wikipedia. We have obviously the more emotionally damaged, compulsive. We have kind of like the information broker. In this, we have the supervillain. We have the hacker, and then we have probably the most well-rounded right here, and then we have absolute insanity, and then we have Zodiac. How not to do the characters. So we have plenty of examples. What are we looking for in a Riddler? We'll start out with Joe.
I would like to see more. If it's me, if it's depicted in a live action, I want the bowler hat, I want the suit, I want the cane, and I want him like we've been saying. I want him to think that he's the smartest guy in the room, and it's a challenge to try and to best him. He wants to prove that he's smarter than everyone else. I go back to the series of Gotham. I thought that was a great. I thought the actor did the best job of actually showing that. Of he looks at everyone else as a bug because you're not on the same intellectual level as him. That's what I want.
All right. And Drunken, what do you want?
Similar vein to Joker's voice, but the overall, I would say one person that you can definitely tell that is an obsessive compulsive personality when it comes to it. Not just the fact that he's an egomaniac of being the most believes to be the most intelligent person, but it's that really it's like we've seen it kind of in some of the references already where even when he's in the middle, I mean, life or death, he's still saying a riddle. He's not going to give that information. It's got to be a riddle. It's that compulsive. It has to be a riddle. I can't just give you the information. It's got to be in a riddle.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more of an intellectual, darker tone, not campy.
And going off of Emerald here, like seeing like where he lives, like his living space, everything is tidy. Everything is like it is almost that OCD-ness that everything has to make sense.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And then late but never unfashionable, Iron Oxide.
Yeah, I got to agree with both these guys. You have to really lean into both the obsessive compulsive and above all the narcissism of the character. And again, I know I always go back to the animated series, but his first appearance in that they gave him just the right amount of motivation without you being overly empathetic to, you're just some asshole who got fired. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
You got screwed over. You're not the first one. He was smart enough. He could have figured out another way to go around it, but he went that route because he's the fucking Riddler. And that's just the guy's destiny, no matter what. There are a million different ways to do this character right. If you want to go with a really grounded, realistic version like Nolan did, it would have easily been able to be interpreted into those movies. And that's what, for live action, I want more of that. And for if they do anything animated, go back. They really just need to go back to the basics of the animated series because that's how they got pretty much all the characters right.
Yeah, they never shied away from the Golden Age roots where this was just a guy who gets off being the smartest one in the room. The ego has to be there. Whether you want to make him a hacker type character, whether you want him to do anything, it's always supposed to be he's his own downfall. But it's a social, like we discussed, it's a social safety net. So you can either catch me, or I'll get away with the crime. I don't care. But if you catch me, well, that's by my design too, because I left you clues. Like it's all to protect his ego. I don't mind this, but I want more of this. I want the compulsiveness. I also want there's a bit of style. Like I said, the Riddler definitely has a custom tailor. I
retired the spandex. I never want to see that again.
Yeah, we've moved beyond that. I was like, I don't want this, which obviously they
because I think the suit feeds into his narcissistic tendencies.
Absolutely, it does.
He needs to be, besides being the smartest in the room, the best dressed.
Yes,
better than everyone else, and it feeds into the aspect of the narcissism.
He is the kid on the playground who, when you're playing with him, he's changing the rules of the game as it goes along. Or he'd be the first one to call like no tag backs, or this wall that I'm standing by, that's goal, you can't tag me here.
That was
me. He but none of this. I don't care if you want him to kill people. This isn't the Riddler. This isn't the I just realized that this isn't the Riddler. This isn't the aesthetic that we're going for, the Paul Dano. There's plenty of other characters that you could have done that with. I don't mind him leaving Bruce ciphers. I don't mind him when he sends him postcards. I don't mind him knowing who Batman is. The end of the day, his ego needs to be his downfall. And like I said, if you want to have that compulsively, where he's like, so like he pulls off like a heist job, and then you see him kind of like shaking to himself, like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And then he has to lay down that clue. Like he just has, because it's not worth it unless someone's playing the game with him, because otherwise he's just not stimulated. And he should be, big dick swinging, but like when it comes to at the end of it, he's a flawed character, and he's a mentally ill character. He's a great mirror look into Batman of how not to use an amazing intellect. He's a crooked mirror distortion of what Bruce can do with his mind. And we've seen iterations with him where he puts it to good use, and he gets rewarded for it, but he's going for the easy way out because he thinks he can. And you know, and you can love him and hate him for that at the same time. That's why he's a great character. That's why he's been around since the golden age. He's also a character that, because of that narcissism, because he reflects Batman so well, he's able to evolve quite well, because it doesn't matter if he's not using like golden and silver age. Like, I put you in a puzzle, like an actual puzzle. If he wants to do that with computers, that's fine, because the narcissism, you know, the mental gymnastics he does, and his well, obvious you know, positive, you know, the positivity he gets from solving puzzles and having no one else, the positive reinforcement that he got as a child, that's always going to reign true. Just from a psychology standpoint, that's always
dopamine rush.
Yeah, he's a dopamine addict. It doesn't matter what era he's in. There's always going to be people like that. I mean, obviously not this grandiose, and not this ostentatious, but it's something we've all met, a show off where we're just like, you just can't help yourself. And the Riddler at his best just can't help himself. And that's something that's always needed in any adaptation, is he should be the cause of his own demise. Just simply, that's because who is. It's the same thing with Penguin. It's, you know, where I would say the Penguin might be smarter than the Riddler, but he has such a chip on his shoulder, he would never believe it. You know, it was like he always needs to think that he's getting sold short or underhanded, or he can't trust people because he knows that he looks weird. It should be the same thing with Two-Face. It's the same thing with Clayface. It's the same thing. The Joker's a little bit different because the Joker probably is the smartest guy in the room. It really doesn't matter. The Joker's his own deal. Yeah, there you go. Theo, friend of the channel, Theo Snodgrass, right here. The Riddler has major gifted kid energy. He does. You know, he can't fucking help himself, where he needs to just, I'm smarter than you. He can't help himself. And you need to show that, and you need to show that it's compulsive. It's not, we talked about this earlier. He could actually stage the perfect crime and he would never be caught. If he didn't leave clues for Batman wouldn't catch him, because he leaves a clean crime scene except for the things that he leaves. He is in total control. The only thing that you can chalk it up to is mental illness. So I think we had a wonderful discussion on this character. Guys, if you have a favorite adaptation of this character, please leave it in the comments after the stream is done. It helps me out immensely. And like I said, tie your grandmother up to a chair. You know, maybe hit her with a crowbar a couple times and ask her if she likes Batman. If she doesn't, well, you know, you hit her with that crowbar until she does. And that's just how the world works. But otherwise, I don't have much going on. Why don't you guys tell us where you're going to be for the rest of the week? Iron?
Hey, thanks. Sorry for being late. I'll be on Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass right after this, and then you can find the weekly Rogues Gallery every Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST. And I got some other shows I pop in and out of throughout the week, so including this one. So yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Oh, and
still just waking up.
And my shirt just came for No Ma'am.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
For friend of the channel.
That was quick. Unlike the rest of us, I went through that other vendor. It took 3 freaking weeks.
Well, you know, I had to up the ante, and I'm a new add-on to that show, but I'm happy to be on. It's called Make Me a Sandwich. Devil made me do it. Friend of the channel. We're gonna he did wonderful on the news the other day. Joker, we haven't had you on the news. We'll have to get you on the news. And actually, I'll have you, Ironside, and Mando. We'll make it a complete Empire crossover. The sisters right again. Drunken Emerald Arrow. I fell asleep during your goddamn show, and I pissed off about it. I know you said it's not a big deal. It's a big deal to me. Why don't you tell everybody the wonderful things you got going on the internet?
So I got Theo Snodgrass produce his show over with Touchgrass here very, very shortly. And then on Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST, I have Nerds Covering the News. Wednesday, Make Me a Sandwich at 7 p.m. over on Double Mid Do It's channel. Then on Friday, I'm rotating cast over on the Weekly Rogues Gallery over on Iron's show. If I'm not on that show, then I'm over on with Gina and Sean over on Rumble. That leads into insert title here at 9:30 PST back on my channel. And then back here for Cavecast.
Absolutely. And Mr. Clown, Prince of Crime himself, where are you going to be?
Well, I cover a lot of the never-ending world of the world of pro wrestling, particularly the WWE, with the new deal that they're in with ESPN/Disney is causing a big old throwing a whole wrench in the entire situation. But you can check out my channel. I have a show Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. All the Pacific time is the only time that matters. And you can also check out links to I have a merchandise store where you can get lovely Joker Voice merch and lovely for the show Wednesday night is overbooked merch. As Mr. Sammy the Repeat has said, it is the most comfortable shirt that you can order online.
It's shockingly comfortable.
Yeah,
I've worn it on stage multiple times. And
you can also find me every Thursday with Roman of the Empire, and occasionally I stop in here to throw a little wrench in the system, cause a little chaos here over on Cavecast.
At least it's not a crowbar.
Yes,
it's true. I myself am Sammy 3P. Guys, if you're not subscribed to any of my panelists, all their Twitters are in the description. Yes, please like the show, share it out. Please leave a comment after the stream's over. That helps me out greatly. The only thing I have going on for the rest of the week is I have in other news with Sammy 3P tomorrow night at 9 p.m. And if you think we're not talking about throwing dildos, we're talking about throwing dildos. So that will probably some way that I can still be part of the algorithm on YouTube, but still find a funny way to do it. That will be definitely a major point of discussion for tomorrow. Other than that, Tinfoil Haters every Tuesday. And hopefully before that, I'll be able to talk about Seven Samurai on friend of the channel, Jacob Ironside, our cinema expert. I'll be able to talk about that for a little bit, but I don't know. Otherwise, just, I don't know, turn on your computer screen. I'll probably be on there because I am a YouTube prostitute, as Roman likes to say. But guys, we talked about the Riddler. I think we have a great understanding of this character. And who do you think we should talk about next show? Because that's also chat. Feel free to get on this. Oswald. Who should we talk about next week?
Oswald.
Well, it's got to be someone, because we're going to talk about Catwoman on the wait, hold on. I have to actually click this and see what the dates are. Yeah, no. So the 16th, the 23rd has to be Catwoman. We're going to have Kayla.
Then I would say let's go Oswald Cobblepot.
That is a great one. So next show will be about the Penguin, and the show after that will be about Catwoman, and then moving forward, it's going to be another wonderful, rich character to discuss. Both these characters around for some time in Batman, and if you want to know about them, this would be a great. No, you didn't. Bane's gonna come a little bit later. We haven't done Joker yet. There, this is the second episode where we have discussed one of Batman's rogues gallery, but we thought that Mr. Enigma would be a great place to start. So let's oh well, Mr. Freeze was our first one. So but Edward is a great place to continue. And yeah, there's so many. I can't wait to get to Clayface. I can't wait to get to Raish. There's a lot. We have a plethora that we can get to. And other than that, guys, be well, and we will see you next week.
Toodles.
Come on.
Yes, Batman, clad in the somber costume which has struck terror to the heart of many a swaggering denizen of the underworld. Bob? Gun.
Holy CinemaScope! Holy miscast Batman! Holy movie mogul! Holy cliffhangers Batman! Holy suborbit Batman! It's raining down there! Big history! Holy catastrophes Batman! Holy bullseye Batman! Holy stereo! Listen to this! Holy armadillos! Holy Krypton! Holy trampoline! Holy fork in the road! Holy Titanic Batman! Holy Dee Dee! Holy funny bone the Joker! Holy chutzpah! Holy precision! Come on, Worth!
Tomorrow, same that time, same that channel.
The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.